Farrell, Sky News.
Earlier this week, he was joined at Lambeth Palace by Rabbi Jonathan Wittenberg and Imam Sheikh Ibrahim Mogra to issue a call for unity among faiths. And I'm very glad to say that tonight Imam Mogra and Rabbi Wittenberg join me now. Good evening to you both.
Good evening.
I just want to pick up by talking about what we saw in Jason's report there. Imam Mogra, if I can come to you first. Those he spoke to suggest that rather than what is being talked about and multiculturalism failing, it's actually thriving in communities here in the UK. Is that something you recognise?
Absolutely. I think we are an example to the world. We should be really proud of what we have achieved in our country, where over the decades, different and new communities that have come and made the United Kingdom their home have been able to integrate and contribute to the welfare and the well-being and the betterment of our society in every walk of life. And I'm immensely proud of the example that we are setting in the world. However, I am concerned about policies that disenfranchise minority communities. And that's really a question that the government should be looking into, rather than just claiming that multiculturalism has failed because of one or two examples.
Rabbi, at times like this, the bond between different communities and cultures in the UK is tested. And we've seen that in recent weeks. And Imam Mogra there referred to divisive policies from government, rhetoric as well that can be divisive. And we've seen a lot of that recently. How do you feel that your community, for example, is responding to that? Because it is a testing time for Muslims in the UK and Jews.
It's a very testing time, and as soon as there's conflict in the Middle East, it's felt here on the streets. Anti-Semitism has risen 700%, and incidents against Muslims from different sources have also doubled. And it was very, very important. I felt very glad when Sheikh Mogra reached out to me and suggested we stand together. It's a gesture of solidarity that I deeply respect and admire. I agree with Sheikh Mogra that in this country, the integration, the plurality of peoples, the multiculturalism is such an important part, an enriching part of our life. My parents were refugees to this country, and I'm grateful to that, and have been involved in supporting other refugee groups here. I don't think that's what's to blame. I think it's the work, the ease with which we assume positions, with which we take up sort of contrary poles in times of conflict. And it's very, very important that we don't import into this country conflicts elsewhere, and that we remember the humanity of every single person, that we show solidarity with our own communities, and that we reach out the hand and show solidarity with other communities at this time. And that's what the Archbishop facilitated, and what Sheikh Ibrahim kindly did, and we did together.
I know both faiths will have gathered for holy days since the Hamas attack in Israel happened. In fact, the Hamas attack in Israel occurred on a holy day. I wonder how you've both found the words for your congregation in the period of time that has followed. These are communities that are hurting and grieving. We saw the US president on his visit to Israel talking about rage, warning Israel almost not to be consumed by that rage, which, when faced with such atrocities on both sides, it can be easy to fall in that trap. And I wonder if I could ask you that question first.
Yes, indeed. There is, in addition to a lot of pain, there is a lot of anger on both sides. And that does not help the situation in any way whatsoever. I think we have to bear in mind that this is an ongoing conflict. It's been going on for so long, and for too long the international community has not managed to bring this to a political and diplomatic solution which is satisfactory to all sides. And I'm afraid to say that I fear that we will be here again before long, even after this has been, the current conflict has ended. I think it's important for us to educate our communities not to conflate. This is not a fight between Muslims and Jews. These two religions are cousin religions. We honor the prophets of Judaism. We honor the scriptures of Judaism. We believe in them. And we cannot conflate a government with the Jewish people, nor should Muslims be conflated with a Muslim-led government that may be involved in breaking international law. This is a political situation, a political problem, and it requires diplomatic and political solutions. We as people of faith, we believe in a God who wants us to be respectful of each other, to care for one another, and to honor life and dignity. And I'm delighted to say that this is a feeling across the board. It's not just here in the United Kingdom, but everywhere. Religious leaders, faith leaders want communities to live together in friendship, as neighbors, respecting one another, and standing with each other, shoulder to shoulder, when one of them is under attack, whether it's Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, black racism, whatever the case might be. We have to stand together against all forms of hate.
Rabbi, your message, along with Imam and the Archbishop of Canterbury, has been one of unity. Just a final word from you tonight on how best to support your community, your local Jewish community or Muslim community, because such is the grief and the rage caught up in what we're watching unfold in the Middle East, that people are almost frightened to get involved, to offer their support, because they feel they don't understand sometimes. So how can they best support you through this?
It's a tremendous shock. This outrage, this terror attack by Hamas was a tremendous shock. And at first there just are no words. There's solidarity, there's compassion. But beyond that, I agree very much with what Sheikh Ibrahim said, and say amen to his prayers, that we have to stand side by side. I would wish that it were possible for us to stand outside a synagogue together at a time of prayer and outside a mosque together at a time of prayer. I call on people who see what are often horrible images and pass them on social media to actually get a deeper understanding of what they are supporting, so that we create a narrative in which we recognize the humanity, the dignity, the right to life, hope, peace, and the future of everybody, because only if that is the case will we not be here again.
Rabbi Wittenberg and Imam Mogra, thank you so much for joining us tonight, ending on a message of peace and unity. Thank you.